Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're basically becoming economic detectives. We're going to grab our magnifying glasses, the tools of supply and demand, and use them to solve three really fascinating market puzzles. And trust me, at first, they might seem a little illogical.
All right, let's dive right into our first case. It's a real head-scratcher. How can your income going up actually cause the price of something to go down? I mean, that feels totally backwards, right? You'd think more money means more spending, which means higher prices. Well, to crack this one, we've got to understand how different types of goods relate to each other.
Okay, so here's the setup for puzzle number one, the tea and sugar connection. We're talking about a chain reaction in what we call complementary markets. So we've got two products, tea and sugar. People use them together, right? In economics, that makes them complementary goods. They're like partners in crime, or maybe partners in your morning cup.
And here's our first major clue. In our little story, tea is what economists call an inferior good. Now, hold on. That doesn't mean it's, bad-tasting tea. It's just a technical term. It means that when people's incomes go up, they actually buy less of it. Maybe they switch to fancy lattes or something. It's a classic economic concept.
Okay, so with that key piece of information, here's what happens. Step one, incomes rise. And because tea is an inferior good, the demand for it actually falls. The first domino tips over. On a graph, this means the whole demand curve for tea shifts over to the left. The result? A lower price for tea and less of it being sold.
But this is where it gets really interesting, because that's not the end of the story. This effect starts a chain reaction that spills over into a totally separate market, the market for sugar. So you can see what's happening with tea. My question for you is, if people are buying way less tea, what do you think happens to all that sugar they used to put in?
Exactly. That's the key. Less tea being consumed means less demand for sugar. It's a direct link. So, just like with tea, the demand curve for sugar also shifts to the left.
And voila, puzzle solved. Check it out. A simple rise in income created this incredible ripple effect. Because tea was an inferior good, its demand dropped. And because sugar is its complement, its demand dropped too. The final result, the price and the quantity sold went down for both of them. Case closed.
Okay, on to puzzle number two, when both curves move. This one asks what happens when demand rises but supply falls. We're going to build on what we just learned, but with a new twist. So this time, imagine a normal good. That's the opposite of an inferior good. When your income goes up, you buy more of it. But here's the kicker. At the very same time, it's getting more expensive for companies to actually make this stuff.
So what we've got here are two major market shocks happening at once. It's like a tug of war. On one end of the rope, you have higher incomes, which shifts demand to the right. People want more. But on the other end, you have higher costs, which shifts supply to the left. Companies can't make as much. Two powerful forces pulling in opposite directions.
So, let's look at the price first. What's going to happen there? Well, think about it. The increased demand, that pushes the price up. And the decreased supply, that also pushes the price up. So, when both forces are pushing the price in the exact same direction, there's no mystery. The price is definitely, absolutely going to go up.
Okay, so price is easy, but what about the quantity? How much of this stuff actually gets sold? This is where that tug of war gets really messy. The demand shift is pulling the quantity to the right, saying sell more. But the supply shift is pulling it back to the left, saying sell less.
So, who wins? Which pull is stronger? Well, the truth is, we have no idea. We can't know the final outcome unless we know exactly how big those shifts are. Is the demand increase huge and the supply drop tiny, or the other way around? Without that info, the result for quantity is ambiguous. We just can't solve it. It's a classic economic cliffhanger.
All right, let's tackle our third and final case, the price drop mystery. For this one, we're going to deduce the cause from the effect. We're working backwards. So here's the crime scene. We look at the market and see that the prices of two competing products, think substitutes like iPhones and Samsung phones, have both fallen. The big question is, why? What could possibly make that happen? Okay, we've lined up the four usual suspects. It's got to be one of these four scenarios. Was it a decrease in the supply of product A? An increase in the supply of B? We're going to go through them one by one using our economic logic to see which story holds water. Actually, we can eliminate two of these right off the bat. Look at suspects A and C. They both talk about a decrease in supply. But wait a minute. We know that a decrease in supply, less of something available, always causes the price to rise, not fall. Our evidence says prices went down. So boom, A and C are out.
Okay, let's put suspect B under the spotlight. This one says the goods are complements, and the supply of product B went up. Okay, if supply of B rises, its price falls, sure. But if they're complements, like tea and sugar, people would then buy more of B, which means they'd also want more of A. That would push the demand for A up, and its price would rise. But that's not what happened. We saw both prices fall, so suspect B is eliminated.
That leaves only one suspect standing, D. Let's see if this story checks out. 1. The supply of product A, say iPhones, increases. Maybe Apple got more efficient. 2. This makes iPhones cheaper. 3. Consumers are smart, so they start buying more of the cheaper iPhones and fewer of the competing Samsung phones. 4. This drop in interest means the demand for Samsung phones falls. And 5. What happens when demand falls? The price of Samsung phones falls too.
And there you have it. Both prices fall. The initial shock wasn't some big, complex thing. It was just an increase in supply for one of the products. That single event created a ripple effect that tanked the price in a totally separate but competitive market. It all fits perfectly.
So let's talk about why this all matters. I mean, these aren't just abstract graphs and puzzles, right? This is about understanding the real world. This supply and demand framework is like a decoder ring for the economy. Once you get it, you can understand everything from why the price of gas is going up to why your morning coffee suddenly costs more. It's the story behind the price tag.
So I'll leave you with this question. What market puzzles do you see every day? Next time you're at the store and see a price has changed, think like an economist. Put on that detective hat. Ask yourself, what shifted here? Was it supply? Was it demand? Or was it both? The clues are out there. Thanks for watching.